On a cold and stormy night, a lonely orange stray cat wandered through a dark alley, searching desperately for food. The rain poured heavily and the streets were completely empty. Suddenly, the cat stopped. Through the sound of the rain, it heard something strange. A faint cry, soft but desperate. Curious and cautious, the little cat slowly followed the sound. Hidden beside a pile of trash was a small cardboard box, shaking slightly in the cold wind. When the cat peeked inside, it saw something unbelievable. A newborn baby, abandoned and crying in the freezing rain. Without hesitation, the tiny stray cat climbed into the box and curled its warm body around the baby. The tiny stray cat stayed close, curling its fragile body around the newborn baby, shielding the child from the cold rain. Slowly, the baby's cries began to fade. The warmth of the small cat seemed to calm the helpless child. But the storm was growing stronger. Cold wind howled through the dark alley, and rainwater began flowing across the ground. Soon the water started rising around the cardboard box. The cat stood up nervously, its eyes scanning the empty street for help. A car passed nearby, its bright headlights lighting up the alley for a moment. The cat looked toward the light with hope. But the car disappeared into the night, leaving them alone in the storm. The rain kept pouring, and soon the narrow alley began to flood. Water slowly surrounded the fragile cardboard box where the baby lay. The tiny stray cat panicked as the box started to move with the current. Desperately, the cat pushed against the box with its head, trying to keep it from drifting away. The baby began crying again, louder this time, echoing through the stormy night. The small cat meowed again and again as if begging someone to hear them. High above the alley, a light suddenly turned on in a nearby apartment window. Someone had finally heard the desperate cries in the rain. The crying continued to echo through the stormy night. Unable to ignore the sound, a woman rushed down from her apartment and stepped into the pouring rain. She carefully followed the desperate cries through the flooded alley. Then suddenly, she saw something moving in the water. A small orange stray cat stood beside a drifting cardboard box, meowing loudly again and again. As the woman ran closer, her heart nearly stopped. Inside the soaked box was a newborn baby. Without wasting a second, she quickly lifted the baby into her arms. The tiny cat stayed beside her in the rain, as if it had been guarding the child the entire night. The woman quickly carried the baby out of the flooded alley and rushed back to her apartment. Inside the warm room, she wrapped the tiny child in a soft blanket. The newborn finally stopped crying and slowly fell asleep. Meanwhile, the small orange stray cat sat quietly nearby, its wet fur showing the long night it had endured. The woman gently dried the brave little cat and gave it food. Morning sunlight soon filled the room. The baby slept peacefully in the crib, safe at last. And beside the crib, the tiny stray cat curled up and rested, the little hero who had saved a life.